Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Awkward
We're back.
Transition here. I listen to other podcasts and they have the same problem. What do you do? What do you say first? I don't know.
Well, the ones that don't have that problem have like a script that they read as an intro. We don't do that.
We don't do no stinking scripts.
No.
I will say, and I don't know if we're ready to reveal it, we could have found, for those collectors out there, Todd, I will credit, may have found the replacement to the Deltoff. Yes. And a far superior one, but we don't have all the ones we need yet, so we're not letting people know what they are.
I think I actually
although we
talked
may
about
have
this.
all we need.
I think we talked about this in a show like 3 weeks ago, Dave. So they've already been tipped off.
Did we?
Yeah,
oh,
I did.
We did.
But did you name it by name and say where you got it? I don't remember.
I did.
Okay.
So
I made sure I ordered mine before you said.
And they're
that.
on sale right now.
Between us, we have 9 of them.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe eight and
a half,
a quarter.
Yeah.
Oh no, yours are all intact though, right, Todd?
Yes. Yeah. So
listen, I don't blame the manufacturer or the retailer for the damage that my
these are
first
incredibly
one
well. And we're speaking, of course, of the Ramona glass cabinet available through Wayfair.
It's on sale right now.
Regularly $999 on sale right now for $220.
$205 actually.
Oh, $205.
And if you like and you miss the Detolf cabinets and this is modeled on a similar design, twice as wide, and the materials are 200% better.
And I think the interior is actually a little deeper, right?
Oh, it is. It's just it's fascinating to me that the aesthetic matches perfectly. Okay, I mean it's just like it's like I guess somebody looked at this and said, "Oh yeah, this is a way to make a case, but we could do it better." I cannot imagine that they did not design this looking at the other because there's so much similarity. But it's made of tempered glass, and it's a much better shelf system, and just a great
I just can't
case all
believe
around.
that they can ship you something like this with free shipping for $200.
For free shipping,
manufacture
and
it, build it,
and
manufacture
you get it in
it
2 days.
It's 140 pounds.
It's
Yeah,
140,
It comes in 2 days.
Full disclosure, my first one was delivered broken, but not the fault of the manufacturer or Wayfair.
very well
and
packed.
I called them and they shipped me another one, and I got it in 2 days.
So I have 2 of these assembled and filled up with stuff already. Dave, I'll give you pictures you can put on Instagram so people can actually see them. But I'll tell you, it's the best display option that I've found for the stuff that we have.
And to make, you said it, but I want to reiterate it. It's twice as wide as a Detolf.
Yeah, it's twice as wide.
You were buying if somebody was buying 2 Detolfs, this is the equivalent of that, and it's
but
not
it
much
holds more because
you can have people standing across the middle. You can have if you collect
225% of the
it
space.
is ideally proportional. For all like the motorcycles and the land speeders or the speeder bikes and the things like this that you couldn't display, this is perfect for that. So
or like life-size Wampa heads that I've not been able to put in a display case.
as one does.
It could be the official display case of the Regular Joe's podcast. Not sponsored.
Until they stop selling it.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that one day it's just going to disappear off the Wayfair
That's
website.
the
That's what
problem
happens
with
with
it.
Wayfair.
I have a couple of these stashed in a spare room, unassembled, because yes, that will happen.
I know. I feel like I need one more. I'll see. But I have 3 unassembled so far. But the fact that and if you're a collector, you probably know of or have the IKEA Deltoffs, and you go on YouTube or Facebook. There's a zillion of them. People added lighting and have all kinds of accessories. The fact that they discontinued that is ridiculous
and replaced it with something
surprising
that is totally unacceptable for the same use. and it's very tone deaf. But like I said,
that's exactly the word I was thinking of. It's just very tone deaf to their audience.
And it can't be that expensive to produce. It couldn't have been a cost thing, because if you charged, this thing has ranged from $70 to $100, and if you made it $130, people would still buy it.
Buying it. But
kind of like Cracker Barrel changing their logo for no reason.
Don't start that. Don't
and they think they changed it back.
I think they did
change it back.
Anyway,
everyone wants a picture of a cracker on the Cracker Barrel logo. Okay.
I don't think that was what it's supposed to be, but it's fine. I don't really care. I don't eat there. I don't care.
I've never been to one.
So, yes. Anyways,
we don't have
like I said,
so.
these cases are superb, and it's the solution I've been looking for a long time. So,
check them out, Ramona on Wayfair, and tell them the Regular Joe sent you.
That's right.
There's nowhere to do that. In the special instructions, say the Regular Joe's.
Actually, go to the promo code section and put in Regular Joe's. Nothing will happen, but just do it.
Nothing, but it will confuse
If enough people do it, maybe they'll do something.
Maybe they'll be like, what is this Regular Joe's thing people keep putting in?
Yeah. But today we're going to talk about a couple things. Barry and I went to a VIP, because that's what we are, preview at Prop Store last night. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Alien Earth. If you haven't seen it, there will be spoilers.
Yes.
You should see it. There are pulse rifles in there. Speaking
there are
of,
pulse
we were
rifles.
just talking to a friend of ours who has a pulse rifle.
Yep.
As we all do.
We all have pulse rifles.
Yep.
Have we seen them fire that pulse rifle? We could wait until later to talk about that.
Yep.
But let's go some random. Barry, what do you got?
This is very random, but I wanted to mention it just because I thought it was cool.
Perfect place.
It is the perfect spot for it. I didn't get to attend this because I was away, but I almost attended it. A friend of mine ended up going to, and I think I mentioned this on the show, there was a double feature being held at a community movie theater on Long Island that Diane Franklin was going to be at, and it was Better Off Dead and Amityville Horror 2, because she was in both of those movies. So I couldn't go. My friend went. He said that she showed up in the hat and jacket from Better Off Dead. She literally stayed all night and took pictures with...
I think I saw a picture of that.
Every single person that came. She signed autographs for everybody that came. They did a talk in between the movies, and it just sounds like it was a great event. I know we've talked in the past about checking your local, art house theaters for this kind of stuff, but this was relatively inexpensive. It was, I think maybe tickets were like $30 or $40 or something like that. Came with a photo op and an autograph, and it just sounds like it was great. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but because I'm a huge fan of Better Off Dead. But anyway, I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Doesn't know who Diane Franklin is, get in your DeLorean and go back 40 years. 'Cause I'm not sure I know who she is either.
Well, she was the love interest in Better Off Dead. She was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. She was in Last American Virgin. She's been in a bunch of those.
I remember from
movies. But just the fact that she showed up in the coat and hat that Monique wears in Better Off Dead, to me, I was impressed. So
there you go. There is a lot of that kind of stuff that people do.
There's more of that than I ever realized. And
it's funny. Near me. There's the Bedford Playhouse, and there's a lot of actors and famous people that live in Bedford. I look on that every time, and I'm waiting for Ryan Reynolds with Wise Guy or whatever that guy, and Fall Guy or whatever that movie was. But I never see anybody. Wait, they had a documentary of Sherry Lewis and the Lamb Chop. And I think the Lamb Chop puppet was going to be there. I'm like, that's not exactly what I'm looking for.
No, but look, in no way am I saying Diane Franklin is a big star, right? But it's just cool that and you couldn't find two more opposite movies than Better Off Dead and Amityville Horror 2.
I'm surprised they didn't throw the Amityville Horror 2, no less. She's been in better stuff than that.
I know, but I think she was the lead in that, so that's probably why they did
was she? Okay, that makes sense.
Anyway.
That makes sense. That's fun. Todd, what do you got?
Okay, so one of my favorite animated things last year was Blue Eye Samurai. Barry, you watched it as well, and
it was great.
They have not said when, but there is a season 2 coming. And
wow!
And I'm excited for that because I was a little at the Anime NYC convention 2020. They said basically that it's they gave a sneak peek, said it's coming. It won Emmys, and it's just it's a really cool thing. If you get caught up on the stuff you're watching, I would really suggest checking this out. It's one of those things that wasn't on a lot of people's radar, and again, one of my favorite things I watched at that point. And
it was fantastic. It was way better than it had any right to be. Quite honestly,
exactly. Yeah, and just it's just very, very good, and I'm it's something I'm excited for. So
I'm actually hearing, by the way, that K-pop Demon Hunter on Netflix, which sounds ridiculous, is like in the same vein, like something that shouldn't be good, but everybody's raving about it. How great!
That's some movie that's making like crazy money.
I'm trying to broaden my horizons, so we'll see. No, I will check that out. Interesting, Dave.
Yeah, it's also animated.
Yeah. Dave, I have a question. A couple weeks ago, you brought up the idea of Pierce Brosnan playing an older Bond. Is that something you read somewhere, or was that an idea that popped in your head?
No, we had tea together, and we were discussing, he and I were discussing it. No, I just thought of it myself, and now they're saying, oh, I don't think
he's saying he'd be open to. I still think that could be a really cool story, and the retired Bond and yeah.
I feel like it could be a great transitional thing to do.
Yeah,
but I almost feel like too much time has passed, and they're sort of like, I don't think Denis Villeneuve is the guy to direct him in this.
Nope,
his has got to be an epic. It would have been great if it came out like this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's been, what, is it 5 years already?
No.
Since No Time to Die? No, maybe not.
No,
it does seem like they're trying to be very careful with the Bond franchise and how they reintroduce it. That probably isn't the way to do it.
This would be a good way to do it. A one and done.
It's been 4 years since No Time to Die. It's 21.
A one and done look at Bond in a way we never have before would be really, really interesting, and it could show that they're being respectful of the franchise, and so
I think it'd be great, but I mean, how it was it like? It's at least 2 years before it comes out, as it is.
Yeah.
Well, he's filming Dune 3 right now, so he's not even in pre-production on.
It'd be cool if they did even something. We didn't release it straight on Prime.
Yeah, exactly. Could be very cool.
We'll throw a script together.
I don't think that's what they want to do though with the brand. I think that they want to bring it back as a
They're
theatrical.
They're going to milk this brand for all it's worth. So there's no doubt about it. We're going to see a Q series. We're going to see.
No, I know, and I don't disagree with you, but I think
young James
reintroduction,
Bond, old James Bond, yeah.
I think the reintroduction needs to be a big theatrical thing. It can't be. Yeah. We threw this little one and done thing together.
So would you go, as we talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago? Would you go like Bond being plucked out of the Navy, Special Boat Service, whatever you want, whatever it would be? And
the new one or the
new one. I'm saying, would you start like day one, and then give yourself some room to run with an actor, or would you start in his career? I mean, the Daniel Craig was early in his career, but not super early.
It'd be interesting to see more of that, like. Up until that point,
I think,
or a little,
not to give away the script for free, but I think you have him in training, you have him pulled out of training early because they need him for something that he's good for, and it doesn't necessarily go well. I think there could be a lot of good stuff they could do, but it
does feel like though there have been a bunch of and mostly shows, not movies, but there've been a bunch of shows lately about young guys that are like early in their career and having to step up, like the recruit and stuff like that.
They're not James Bond, you know, and that's what I'm saying is like this is raw material Bond, and you know, you see him make mistakes the first time, you see him learn from it. I don't know. I think it could be cool, and of course
let's hope they don't screw it up.
They would cast Tom Holland because he's trying hard. So
Tom Holland could be good. It's too short though.
Yeah. So
who knows what to do?
Yep.
I got just a bunch of weird little tidbits. They're talking about making a Knight Rider movie. The people from Cobra Kai. That could be interesting.
Could it be interesting?
Could it really?
At this point,
I didn't say it'd be interesting to watch. It just said the idea would be
with everybody that's got CarPlay or their Android phone connected, like it just doesn't seem like
it's not bulletproof, and it doesn't go 200 miles an hour. What would they use for the car? Pontiac doesn't even exist anymore.
So that's the thing. So I was thinking about this. Do you find the original car like in a barn somewhere, like a la Ghostbusters, or do you take the computer and put it in a new car?
Oh, I like that. They take it and put it in take a Camaro.
Like Kit is transformed into another vehicle.
See, and I don't think that they're going to take the original Kit. I think it's going to be a brand new story.
Oh no, you think so? See?
I think why would you take 40-year-old computer technology and put it into your brand new car?
You could do that though. It's a TV and a movie. You could do that. I mean, it's
downloaded into an AI something
the
or
most
other.
Advanced
blah, blah, blah.
computer.
I don't know. It just feels to me like in an era of self-driving cars, like what is Kit going to do that's going to be so cool
Kit
that we're all
still did more stuff. I don't know.
No, I know, but
stuff.
I'm just saying it's not that far of a leap anymore from where it was when in the 80s. Like, oh my God, the car's talking and it can do it drive by itself, and
we'll see. We'll see. Whoever it's going to be, whoever car company pays the most for the rights, and it's going to wind up being like a Cadillac.
And who's going to play Hoff's part? I mean, how do you come
Pedro
up with a
Pascal
new Hoff?
is going to play. Of course. Who else?
William Daniels is still alive. Yeah. He is 98 years old.
Maybe they could do like James Earl Jones and just get him to sell his voice rights.
I'm sure they will.
So they don't even need to recast Kit. Okay. I was actually just thinking that I was, for some reason I thought he was deceased. But I was thinking, do David Hasselhoff as the voice.
Oh yeah,
you know
that would be good.
But yeah,
he could sing too in German.
He could sing. Yep. So
we'll see. That's what's interesting about what the hell do they actually do with it. Maybe they make it sort of like, like Starsky and Hutch. That was a comedy, But they remade it with a Mustang like 10 years ago or something.
Did they really?
Maybe more than 10 years.
Oh, okay. That was in 2000, right? There was a Knight Rider in 2000, and he's driving. I think he's driving a Corvette.
It was a Mustang.
Was it a Mustang?
Yeah, there definitely was one with a Mustang.
Huh.
So who was the voice of the car?
William Daniels.
William Daniels.
He was the principal on Boy Meets World.
Right. That's what I was just thinking. So like,
he was on St. Elsewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. He was Boy Meets World.
I remember. Oh God, that just brings back. I told you the story about I answered the phone when I was working on a TV series, and Alan Alda was on the phone, and I didn't know who it was, and he's like, I'm like, oh, I was a production assistant. I'll take a message. Who's calling? He goes, Alan Alda. I'm like, this is Alan Alda. He sounded exactly like him, but the guys who made the show I worked on did St. Elsewhere, and they were just finishing up. And I remember William Daniels calling a couple times, and I'm like, wait a second, that's
Kit.
That's Kit.
That's the voice.
What are you doing,
Kit.
Michael? But what else do I got? They're gonna make Amazon is doing a lot of stuff. It's gonna do a making of Rocky movie. I guess kind of like the making of the Godfather one we saw. which was okay.
Like,
actually
not a documentary,
drama,
a series about
a drama about
series,
making it.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. But
I just saw the note that they announced who they're casting as Sylvester Stallone. I don't even remember the person's name, but that show was flawed but okay. That was on Prime?
Who are they casting? Dave Bautista?
Yeah.
God, no. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, that was on. Was it on Amazon? I feel like it was on Hulu.
No, I don't think it, I didn't have Hulu at the time.
Oh wait, no, it was on Paramount, wasn't it?
It may have been
because
so
isn't Godfather Paramount?
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, so that could be interesting. Any other random?
I was just going to mention, and I know we promoted it on our socials, but Regal Robot, our friends over there at Tom Spina, they have a new line of what they're calling mini masks or mask replicas that I just thought was worth mentioning. They're really cool because they're not life size, and a lot of us are starting to run out of space for some of these larger collectibles, and a lot of
unless
what they
you
do
have the Ramona by Wayfair, tell them
this is true. They probably would fit in there, but these are scaled down replicas, and they're not just like statues or busts of characters, but they're actually replicas of the masks themselves. And they're starting out this new line with Barada, Nikto, and Klaatu from Jabba's Palace, also names we all know from Day the Earth Stood Still. But I just thought it was worth mentioning because they're also only $229 each, which is I think a really
cool.
good price point for something like that. And I've seen the prototypes and they look amazing.
Are they actual masks or they're sculptures?
They're sculptures, but they're scanned off of the actual mask. So they went into the Lucasfilm archives and they scanned the actual masks themselves, and then like even to the point like down the back of the statue, you see the seam where the back of the mask would have the seam where they play.
So are there stands, Barry, or do you have to hang them?
No, they're on stands. The stands
cool.
are built in. Yeah,
that's great.
So I don't know, they're cool. Check them out at regalrobot.com. I just
Regular Joe sent you.
Tell them Regular Joe sent you. I just thought they were really cool, so I thought it was worth mentioning.
You know what also is worth mentioning? Fanboy Collectibles. They got just everything you need. Pre-orders. Go to their website. There's pre-orders like every week. There's new pre-orders. There's Exo 6 and Hot Toys and Pops and Sideshow and Hasbro and Kotobukiya, and
they've got the Mondo Clayface in stock right now. The 1/6 scale Clayface. It looks amazing. It looks huge.
It is really, really cool. I love the Mondo stuff. It's very, very comic accurate, anime accurate, really good. They've got a premium format Man-Bat statue for pre-order that looks freaking amazing.
Scary looking, but
statues. Don't discount statues, you action figure collectors. There's tons of cool statues.
That premium format Cyclops they have up for pre-order looks really cool too. The X-Men one.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And speaking of Klaatu, you can get the Sideshow Klaatu figure on pre-order.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that last week. They got all the stuff you need, so check those guys out. FanboyCollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut, and definitely tell them the Regular Joe sent you. They'll care.
Yes,
the
they
rest
will.
of the people may not. Real
Robot would care,
and they won't be confused. So
yes,
they won't be going. Wait a minute, what?
They get a lot of that. Troy always tells us when people reach out, and it happens a lot. So thank you all for mentioning us.
So Dave, while we're talking about cool stuff, what's going on at From Dave's Workshop?
You guys are always surprising me where we're going to put this.
Putting it right here.
So I just shipped. I mentioned last week that I was working on something from ET. I'll actually send you guys a picture because I don't think you've seen it. So new client had one. You know, in the beginning, ET there's the spaceship where all the ETs are, and they're collecting stuff, and they have all those glowing mushrooms. This guy had one of those original glowing mushrooms.
Oh, that's cool.
So we talked about like what's the best way to put this together. I'm like, it absolutely has to light up. So I'm kind of sort of here it is. So I'm like, let's make a light up base for it. So I'll put this on the socials too. But I made this light up base with a metal print in the back and then a backdrop with ET. So it came out good. He was really happy. So he posted it on Facebook and a bunch of places. So that was actually a lot of fun.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
The light up thing works well. It's in the text chain. So that, and then I'm working on something from Thor. I can't divulge that yet. Got a couple other things in the works that I'll let you know when I can. But if you need a display or any kind of plaque for props or replica props, check us out from davesworkshop.com. Definitely tell me the regular Joe sent you.
So if someone wanted to pick up props, are there any upcoming opportunities to do that?
No.
Well,
if someone had
best
the
attempted
means,
a segue. I'm sorry.
If someone had the means, there's definitely some stuff you should have been.
Yes, there's an upcoming auction. Prop Store is having their entertainment memorabilia auction,
which they have twice a year. But how they keep, even we were talking to one of the guys, how they keep coming up with stuff to put in these auctions is actually really surprising.
And it sounds like it's a combination of them approaching people and people just coming to them. So
yeah, for sure.
So it's they definitely work at it to sort of shake things out of the trees, but then there's stuff that just pops up, like one of the big one that we're going to talk about that we saw last night, just kind of came up out of nowhere for them. So
yeah, and I gotta say they hadn't done this before, really. I don't know if they've done a preview in New York before, but they're based.
He said
in
they
LA.
hadn't. He said this was the first time they've done it in New York,
and they're based in London, but they put on a nice little thing. So there's a new Planet Hollywood, not anything like, Barry, we could actually eat at the Planet Hollywood. We didn't even think about it.
I know. We left there and went somewhere else to eat. But yeah, it's so funny because when Dave and I met up in front of the Planet Hollywood last night, both of us were like, this was not here before. Like, we know the city well enough.
It's literally across the street from my old office, and it wasn't there 6 months ago. So they must have there was one on like 55th Street, not the original one. And then they scaled that down, and then now it's at this little place. So I don't know what's in there or what's going on.
Yeah, we didn't go inside the restaurant proper.
We probably should have.
We took the elevator up to the third floor, and they had like a little event space there. And they only had like 7 items, probably the big 7 items from this upcoming auction on display. And then they had a bunch of their staff there to talk to people and yeah,
there was a full open bar.
Yeah, open bar. They were handing out hors d'oeuvres.
It was at these places.
It was a really nice
food
event.
And stuff. It was a nice little event. Yeah, for sure.
And then we could talk about everything that was there, but obviously the headliner is Darth Vader's fighting lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and they even did like a whole little presentation on that. Like that, Brandon Allinger from Prop Store was there, and he got up and he showed. He had kind of almost like a slideshow that he went through and talked about the history of it and how it came about and how they matched it.
It really was interesting. I mean, we've heard some of that stuff, and they even taught you. Well, this thing is amazing. They put out this booklet on all basically everything you need to know if you're going to drop $3 million on this thing.
This book is beautiful.
It's awesome.
I mean, I can't believe how nice this catalog is. They gave these out to us there last night.
It's all raised printing and
that like heavy gloss embossed printing. Yeah. It's really a beautiful catalog just for this lightsaber.
Look at how they screen matched it and everything. It really was an interesting presentation, and this book is great. This is awesome, but this is a big prop. This could be definitely the top 2 or 3 Star Wars props to ever come to market.
And this is an example. They said that this guy basically came to them out of the blue, sent an email with a couple pictures, and then they got on the phone with him right away. And then he came in to meet with them in their office, and next thing you knew, they realized he had this lightsaber that's basically been missing for 40 years. And there's only 1 or 2 of these that they even made for the movie, so this is kind of the one.
Yeah.
And it looks beat to hell, like you'd expect it to.
Which makes it... it's funny. They did a great job selling this. Not that I have the $3 million I want to spend on this, but the more you talked about it, the more you're like, yes, this is the one to have, because it's was so extensively used. There's so many photo matches, the behind the scenes.
There's no question that it is what they're saying it is.
And it got so much use throughout all those movies.
And they're estimating 2 to 3 million, but I have a feeling it's going to go higher than that.
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a ton of lightsabers out there, but this one does. Like, the more you look at it, and it's like, oh, this is bent because someone smacked it with another lightsaber, and this was used extensively on 2 movies. It's pretty
well, and they think that either it or pieces of it may have even been used in the first Star Wars. So
yeah, that's in the back there. But
it was impressive. Yeah,
I highly recommend you make a run at this in the auction.
For sure. I think the next thing that was sort of maybe the other coolest thing there, they've got an Indiana Jones whip and the belt, the holster belt for the whip. And it looks like it was made yesterday. Like, it's so pristine. It was unbelievable. And it still has the little metal wraps that keep it like rolled perfectly.
It's like the belt whip. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome to see.
And there's like almost no belts out there. They say this is like very different for what's going on whips. It's got the belt and the holder and the thing. So yeah, it's pretty spectacular. It'll probably be the highest price whip that goes. I'm guessing,
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. They had a Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper helmet there, which
Barry wasn't impressed by that, but it's pretty awesome.
You know what? It's so funny. When you look at it straight on, you see how narrow it is. But when you look at it from a slight angle, it looks so much better. Side view of that cool. is I mean, it's amazing to see.
It would have been the best piece there if it wasn't for the other 2 pieces.
Yeah, probably. Well, I would argue maybe not, but I know you're not a Lord of the Rings fan. They had Sauron's helmet, which
I don't even know what that is.
Was so freaking impressive to see in person. And then they accentuated it by having these red LEDs shining up from the bottom of it. It looked really cool. But yeah, I mean, those 2 helmets were very impressive. It's like anytime you get to see any real Stormtrooper helmet from one of the first 3 Star Wars movies, it's always great. But
yeah. They had the Men in Black neuralizer that is actually full electronics. And it's interesting. I don't know if you saw the video on it, Barry. So this thing had electronics. It was actually built to be 130% of the size of the actual prop, so they could have close-ups of it with all the electronics, because it has a little digital readout.
Yeah, this is the one that they had there was the one they used for the inserts when they do the close-ups of the actual screen of the display on it.
And it had all these LEDs in it and electronics, but funny enough, it had the wire to it. It didn't have the control box. They had an engineer reverse engineer a control box to control all the electronics inside.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and it works. You know, you could change the year and the month and the day. That's actually a really cool looking piece. And then one of the best things of the whole thing, that stupid flute from Star Trek is up for sale again. That it keeps selling for more. I think the last time it went for $190,000.
Well, I looked it up today because somebody was commenting on the picture that I posted on Facebook. The first time it sold at the Paramount auction, it sold for $48,000. Then it sold, and this is with buyer premium. Second time it sold for $230,000 with the buyer's premium. Yeah,
maybe $190.
Yeah, it was probably $190 and then buyer's premium on top of that. So,
and now the estimate is $250,000 to $500,000, and it's already at $250,000 at least as of last week.
It's like the Hope Diamond. Okay, everybody who comes into its possession, misfortune befalls them, and then they've got to sell it to the next person down the line.
I don't get that. I don't. That is not an episode that is beloved to me. I don't know.
Everybody other than you loves that episode.
I will agree with that. I think it's one of the. It's an episode that I think it's.
I'm not saying I don't love it. I've seen it once. I don't remember it.
No, it's great, but it's
like top 5 episodes of TNG ever, Dave.
Right. Yeah.
Would you rather have a phaser or that flute?
I'm not saying I want the prop. I'm just saying that episode is considered to be one of the greatest episodes of not just TNG, but all of Star Trek.
Not the Darmak
TNG, I would take
Gamora
that over
or whatever that
phaser
is.
all day long. I would. There's a gajillion phasers. That is a, and not only in so the significance of that is not just that episode, but that broke the model that they were working up until that point where they were purely episodic. That became a permanent fixture in Picard's ready room after that. There was nothing like that before that you saw, other than like difference in costumes and things like that showed things happening that evolved and changed characters and became permanently. It's one of the most iconic things in that series.
I agree. And I'm just going to tell an anecdote, which I just thought was funny. So we're talking last night. Dave and I are talking to Brandon Allinger from Prop Store, and we brought up Willow. And Dave's like, Barry's the only person that likes Willow. And Brandon says to him, no, a lot of people like Willow.
Yeah, he did.
Shut you right down.
Yep. Yeah. So, for all those people out there that are feeling like Dave just shit on their favorite episode of Next Generation, it's okay.
Fuck all you people. I don't give a shit.
Again, I don't even think it goes beyond the episode. It's the significance to the series.
Really? I never really thought
I'm just
shocked
shocked there
at how
are
much
people
it
who
costs.
love that episode in a way that, like my favorite all-time Next Generation episode is Best of Both Worlds. There are other people who would say that The Inner Light is the greatest episode of the whole series. So,
I don't.
What are you going to do?
I honestly, I think I might go with Yesterday's Enterprise. I think it's
also
really hard to say Best of Both Worlds because it's a two-parter and it's, and it's so part of the series. But yeah, I know there are a lot of people who would say Inner Light is probably the best Patrick Stewart episode.
Better than Encounter at Farpoint?
or The Naked Now?
Keep digging, Dave.
I like Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of good episodes. There's lots of not good episodes, too.
There's a lot of good ones.
It's what happens when you have 7 seasons and 28 episodes.
26 episodes a season. Jeez.
They can't all
That's a series.
They can't all be gold.
These days. Yeah. Anyway.
But it was a great event. I'm really glad we got to go.
I hope they do more of that kind of stuff because it was really nice. Wasn't a ton of people there. There were like, 30, 40 people there?
Yeah, maybe 30 or 40 people.
If the whole point of being VIP is not all the hoi polloi get in. So, yeah, that makes sense.
What's funny, you could tell the staff was like, oh, so what do you collect? I'm like, I collect day 2 and 3 things. I do not collect day 1 things. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. But everybody that we met from Prop Store there was super
great.
Nice. They were all great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We had a long conversation with Chuck Costas.
He's
same with Brandon.
A lot of stuff.
I don't remember the name of the woman we were talking to, but she was super
I don't
nice.
either, but I've seen her in a bunch of the videos. Yeah,
they were all great
too. Yeah, everyone was great. So
good event. Really good event.
Good event. Okay. Alien Earth. There'll be spoilers, although I hardly remember. If anyone doesn't like their eyeballs, this is the show for you. That freaking thing is so creepy. It's not even funny.
It is creepy.
Yeah.
And I think the worst part so far was...
chestbursters weren't bad enough. Now they have eyeball creatures.
I don't think Barry saw the episode with the really horrible thing.
I've only seen the first 2 so far. But I did see the eyeball creature.
Yeah, but
there's something worse.
It does worse stuff later. And I just read in episode 4... I just sort of was scrolling through something. It's like the headline was like, the eyeball creature does even more horrible things.
Okay.
Like, oh boy.
So, eyeball creature aside, okay, what do you think of the show overall so far?
It definitely feels like it's from the Alien universe. I mean, they went out of their way to make the ship interior look just like Alien and Aliens, and they have that mother chamber and all the computer screens. It all looks and feels very Alien and Aliens to me.
I was surprised, and I tried not to watch too much of the the trailers and previews and stuff, I wasn't even sure where it was in the timeline. I thought it was much closer to our time, but it's literally 2 years before Alien.
Right. I think when they first announced the show, they
there
said
was talk
it was going to be modern times.
They didn't walk that back.
Yeah.
And I will say, one of the things I really appreciate about it is that we've seen all this alien stuff up till now through a Weyland-Yutani lens. And this, we're seeing different perspectives on it. We're finding, that they are one of a handful of global corporate powers.
Five corporations that basically run the world, which we're kind of getting to that point now.
Right. And so that idea, that innovation alone gives us a lens to look at all this stuff through without it being, without breaking canon, because these things are insular. These corporations are insular. And so they can do whatever they want in this thing, because it changes it to Weyland-Yutani trying to play catch up.
Because the central thing is like it's competition. One of its competition companies.
But it changes the motivation for like what Ash does. Okay, to being. I mean, they're out there. He's hard programmed to have this other initiative. And now we know why. It's not just that
you never got the. Yeah, you always thought, oh, is he just evil? Is this company evil?
No,
well, they may or may not be. They're in competition,
direct competition with these other corporations, and it's make or break, and so I found that really interesting. I also found that by doing that, it allows them, and they said this right in the beginning, that these different corporate entities were developing different technologies. It allows them to introduce stuff that we've never seen, like the synthetic humans, or the synthetic humans with real humans implanted in them. Things like this. It just, you don't have to look at this and say, oh, they never showed that in Alien. Why did we never see this before? They created a great framework where they could do that stuff.
Yeah, it was clever that they're sort of like, we lived in one section of the world.
I like that framework that they set up for it, so that they can do it without you having to go, wait a minute, like none of this makes sense. But like the Mark Zuckerberg type guy, the boy, whatever they call him,
prodigy guy.
Yeah, he's already. I've only seen 2 episodes, and he's already annoying me, which I'm sure he's supposed to.
He's meant to. Okay, and I mean, you can. I mean, things are going to go badly for him eventually, but there's this, the kind of Steve Jobs thing. There's the kind of the Mark Zuckerberg. There's all the young genius things are rolled back in together.
There's definitely a Lex Luthor element to him too.
Absolutely, and that works. I mean, he's like an archetype in some ways, even for being an outlier like that.
And he even reminds me of Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor, which is even annoying.
I'll say that. But the guy's doing a good job with the role, okay? Because you're like, you can see the wheels turning in him. You can see the arrogance and the hubris and his inevitable fall.
The whole, like, I'm doing all of this because I want to have an intelligent conversation with somebody.
Right. That, and plus the fact that he's doing things that you should not do. Okay. He's doing, and it's like, he's because people don't say no to him. Okay. And, and that's going to be a bad thing. But, some of the things he's done aren't that, are again, it goes with that, you move fast, break things kind of mentality. Okay. And no one's going to get him off that path. I think, putting children in superhuman adult bodies. Okay. There's a lot that could go wrong with that idea.
Oh yeah. I don't really understand that premise.
Well, he justifies it by saying he's doing something good.
Right. But then you flip that and you say, he has a far better chance of controlling children in superhuman adult bodies than he does adults, given autonomy in these superhuman bodies. So it's not all altruistic. It's he thinks he's
well. It seemed to start out from an altruistic point of view because these were all sick kids that were going to die, and he's preserving them somehow. But sending them into a horrific, essentially battle zone. I mean, it doesn't start out as a battle zone. It starts out as this big spaceship crash, right? But like, why would you send a team of not just a kid, but a team of kids?
All the ones that you've created. Okay?
Yeah, every single one that you've
whole
done.
Crop, as far as we know. The other thing is, he could have a warehouse full of these kids that we haven't seen yet. Okay,
but the fact that he's got them all like living together and training together.
He could have this guy. He doesn't. We don't know. This guy could have parallel programs. Like they do in Jurassic Park. They just keep making new islands. I like Timothy Oliphant's cyborg.
Cobb Vanth.
He's great. I think he's really, really good.
Is he a cyborg or is he
not a cyborg?
No, he's not a cyborg. He's a full on robot.
He's an Ash type.
Yes, he's
the other guy is a cyborg. The guy the Weyland Yutani guy is a cyborg.
Yes.
He's an enhanced human. Yes.
Yeah, he said cyborg on the show.
Right.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant is like an Ash or a Rook kind of
Bishop,
synthetic human, synthetic person, as Bishop likes to be called.
Yeah, and he's doing a really good job with it. And he's the least.
And you could,
I will say, I'm a big fan of his work, but I will tell you, this is the first thing I have seen him in between Deadwood and Justified and even The Mandalorian, where you do not look at him and say, oh, it's Timothy Oliphant, because he's cast for very similar roles. This is not a similar role, and I think he's doing a really good job with it.
You could tell the disdain he has. He's There's definitely this underlying like, I got to listen to this guy, but
it's
don't
very
like
evident in the third episode.
Yeah, maybe. Yes,
I gotta say, I really like the show, and I think this might be my favorite thing that I'm watching right now, and I'm surprised by that. I think we've seen a lot of efforts to try to take what they did in the first two films and do something clever and creative with it. Okay, I think this is one of the best things that they've done with this world, with this universe that they created.
Well, I'm not surprised you're enjoying it because it's Noah Hawley and you like everything he does.
I do, but there's a reason for that, though. Okay, he's done really, really well taking existing properties and spinning it in a way that you're getting a completely different perspective. There's people out there that do not like this show because it's not Colonial Marines and it's not, you're not seeing the xenomorphs do all the things we've seen dozens of times and all this kind of stuff. Just let yourself, embrace the world and enjoy a new story, a completely different thing.
Well, I mean, I know, again, I've only seen the first two episodes so far, but I've seen the xenomorphs do exactly what I'm used to them doing. They chest burst and they
though, Barry, like
face
some
hug.
Of it, we did not see the crew of that ship be killed, and we did not need to. Okay.
Oh, because we knew
what happened. What was happening on the other side of that door when he locked that woman out.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't need to see that, and this is why, like I said, he's doing a really good job building on what we know without leaning too heavy on what we know.
I don't know if the cost of visual effects is just getting cheaper and cheaper, but this thing looks huge and cinematic in a way that most TV shows don't.
Inside that building and the ship inside I think it's, like I said, I'm super impressed with this. It's beyond what my expectations were. And
I will say this, and again, I've only seen 2 episodes. I don't know if all the Peter Pan references and allegories seem to me like they could get annoying after a while.
It can, but it's also like you'll see
naming
by
the kids after the characters.
You'll see by episode 3, even the kids are like, "This is a little silly."
Okay, okay, so that maybe then they sort that out for me.
But the whole thing is, this is the character that this boy genius identifies with, and it becomes his template, and it's he's messed up, and it's what he's imprinting on everybody else. I don't have as much I don't have that big a problem with it. A couple things that have surprised me too is I expected them to string out the brother thing. I did not think that they were going to be reunited in the second episode. Did you?
Yeah,
guys?
well, that's the other thing. Like, he knew that her brother was there. He knew that she had been tracking her brother through the computers. I don't think he knew she had the ability to do that. But like, why? Like, you would think you wouldn't send her on purpose.
I think part of that was a test to see how much, whether he had more control over her than her.
Yeah, I mean, that's as far as I've gotten. But yeah, I was a little surprised that they reunited them so soon.
Yep, I was as well.
I mean, it's only 8 episodes this season, though, so if you stretch it out too long.
Yeah. Like I said, I like it. I feel the way I think I did about Alien Romulus with this is if you back up a little bit and say, this is what we know, what don't we know, there's still stories to tell instead of trying to do the same thing over again.
You're being quiet, Dave, so do you not like it?
No, I do like it.
Okay.
It just seems like it's sort of running into it. It's this first 3 episodes is almost like, I feel like we could have gotten a little further. You know me, I like things moving a little faster, but there isn't much. Once they're in the ship, there hasn't been much that really happened. So I don't know.
I thought it was interesting how they had the ship crash into a building, and then there are points where you don't know whether you're in the building or in the ship.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
And
it seems incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that it was very convenient that the ship landed perfectly flat. I think if the ship were like canted at a 20-degree angle or something like that, it would have been a little more obvious
adventure.
Whether you would have been in the ship or in the.
I did find it interesting, though, like you mentioned, that this ship landed in territory that's controlled by a company, and Weyland-Yutani wants to get their ship back, but they can't just go in.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made it. They caused it. Although, it really happened because of the alien.
I think they wanted their specimens. Yeah, I don't think that because I had.
No,
that
I'm saying I wonder
too,
if the Prodigy guy made it land, but I don't think so. Now that I really think through it, because the aliens made it land.
I also think there might be a good reason that we never hear about this Prodigy land after this. I think
the next season could be them versus another company.
No, but I was going to say I think Weyland-Yutani is going to retaliate in a big way. So, yeah.
It is interesting. I'd like a little more background on like what's the world like, or it sounds like it's even controlled by location. They're in like Singapore or somewhere.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, they definitely have territories, parts of the globe have been divided up by company.
The ship is like a baseball. It's in my backyard. Now it's my baseball.
Yeah.
You may not have seen it. Not that it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Oliphant gets ripped in half by the alien tail.
That's right.
And then somebody says, "Get away from her, you bitch."
When I did like, and it's not a minor spoiler, but when the cyborg guy gets in touch with Weyland-Yutani, he's talking to the granddaughter of the person who sent him on his mission. So this is not these companies aren't just like corporations; they're like empires. And so
which is interesting, and I guess that breaks canon because who's the guy at the end of Alien 3? Isn't that Weyland or Yutani or one of them?
Weyland. Yeah.
So
we've seen this before, though. I can't remember if it was Covenant or the other one, but they were the old man that went with Charlize Theron. Yeah, he was. I mean, it was definitely a family-run corporation.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So these are almost like economic empires, and so anyways, like I said, I find it's really interesting,
different for television for sure,
and I think that
it feels big for TV, which I like. It does. As I was saying before, it doesn't feel it's on a limited budget.
Yeah, and I also feel like there's some good setup here, and there's things that we still have to learn. So,
I did love in the second episode the people in the building that were having their very high-end fancy party, and they didn't even hear the ship crash, and they refused to evacuate, and then they all just got decimated by the xenomorph.
Utterly destroyed by this thing. And
that was pretty funny.
And they just refused to leave. Like, if you had left like you're supposed to, you wouldn't have been just ripped to pieces.
Yeah, you would have died in the hall in your silly costume.
Maybe, but it also, and I don't know why, but that sequence felt a little Blade Runner-ish to me too. So there's definitely elements of that.
So it's interesting you say that, because I'll tell you, I see as much Blade Runner in this as I do Aliens at times, or Alien at times. It feels very much, you see that influence very, very much, and I think that's intentional. We just have not in this universe. Other than the brief scenes with Ripley in Aliens at the beginning, we haven't really been to Earth.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And so
they weren't even on Earth right? Were they even on? Was she even on Earth? Yeah, maybe she was.
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah,
I thought they were on an outpost or something. I don't know.
Anyways, but this is.
I thought they brought her back to headquarters, but
they may have.
Yeah. I thought they did too. I read an article last week that was basically the title of it was, "I love Alien Earth, but it makes me sad for Star Trek." And what they were saying was, this Noah Hawley was on deck to do the next Star Trek film, and I think he could have done some really, really incredible stuff. I'm really happy with what he's doing here, but likewise, I feel like we lost an opportunity to have somebody who's does a tremendous job taking an existing property and spinning it, showing us something new without in any way deprecating what came before, and So that's, like I said, that's unfortunate. But this is, I think this is really cool. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Well, it's interesting. They're saying, we were talking about this last night, that, since these Skydance people took over Paramount, which is, I won't get into the politics of that, but they're making Star Trek a priority. So it could be interesting what they wind up doing and who they wind up sort of bringing in to do stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully that bodes well for Star Trek.
Yeah. So cool. So check it out if you haven't checked it out. We haven't really spoiled it for you.
No, we're trying to. There's aliens, people. Sorry, I just had to.
And more than just a xenomorph, there's other aliens.
And that's one of the things I find really, really cool, because, like I said, this is compartmentalized from the other films. There's some scary shit you haven't seen before, and yeah.
I liked what they, and I think it was in the third episode, and I won't say it, but I like what they've done with Wendy. I really hope we see more of that.
I think that's the thing going forward. I think, and that's what where the hubris comes in with the boy genius is, he's made something that he can't control. And, this is almost allegorical to Frankenstein in some ways, because, he's made these super powerful creatures with the idea that this is something that, and I think they're going to go their own way. And I think they're going to be open to influences and things that he did not anticipate. So
the only thing and maybe I'll just have to not think too hard about it, but I never really thought Weyland-Yutani had xenomorphs and eggs and face huggers and all that stuff before.
But they didn't. That's the point. They came this close and they lost them.
No, I know, but they had them on their ship. So the research vessel found them.
This is their lost opportunity.
That's why they sent. And that's why they sent the Nostromo to go find more.
Or they diverted the Nostromo and they sent the Sulico to as soon as they get reports from that colony. They're playing catch up 75 years later because of these events. Okay, so one way or another, I think that's the only thing we know is they're not going to get their stuff back.
Yeah, I would like to see that timeline at some point laid out, because just to get it straight in my head. And what you just said makes total sense, but like,
well, if you really think about it, let's say what Todd said makes sense. Let's say Prodigy keeps the aliens. Weyland-Yutani never gets them. Alien takes place 2 years later, and the company diverts them to go get these things again.
Right. And then Romulus takes place in between Alien and Aliens, right? So there's been all these attempts for them to try to go get...
Yeah, oh yeah, no, this becomes a priority. I mean, I'll tell you, if I mean, Weyland-Yutani could very well nuke that island, okay, just to keep anything from losing that advantage. This, like I said, could end very, very badly for this guy who thinks he's won. So, we'll see how that goes. But there's a reason that Weyland-Yutani is still trying to play catch up down the road. The last thing I'm going to say is, I think these actors are probably having a lot of fun playing kids, and I think they're actually, for the most part, doing a good job, because every once in a while they're like kids pretending to be adults, and then you'll see childlike behavior pop up, and this is also very evident in episode 3. I think that's kind of cool. I think it kind of, it's like if you just took children and stuck them in adult bodies, they would not instantly become adults. And I think that's an important part of this story. So it's, again, I think this is good. I'm very pleased with it, and I really want to see more. So
cool. All right. Let's go. What's in the box?
Show you in the box. Who's in the box? Oh, what's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Todd, what's in the box?
Okay. Shocking and surprising to both of you, I have a Exo-6 figure. I did track down B'Elanna Torres. She was eluding me for a while. This is a really good sculpt. They did a really, really good job with this one. They sell for a lot of money, and it's just one of the like 3 that I should have pre-ordered that I didn't. Comes with the standard other Voyager stuff, away team accessories and stuff like that. But it's nice, and I'm glad I got one at a very reasonable price.
Oh, good.
So I'm like I said, just pleased with it, and that's I've got everybody I think I want from Voyager, and now I'm just kind of working my way through the.
She doesn't come with the Klingon outfit?
It does not come with a Klingon outfit, but boy, I will buy her again if they sell her with a Klingon outfit. Yeah. So, I think we're like 10 running weeks or something with my doing an Exo-6 figure. So, Barry, what do you got?
I have my latest shipment from Fanboy Collectibles is not an Exo-6 figure. It's Gollum from Lord of the Rings. As creepy as you'd expect him to be. His entirety of his uniform is a loincloth, so there's not much costuming to him.
Disturbing.
He does have a little.
Oh God!
Todd missed it.
I missed it. I'm sorry. I was setting up. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's that?
It's Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
No, who makes
it? Asmus Toys. They do the Lord of the Rings stuff.
They make the other things.
Yeah, I have been very...
Isn't he oversized?
Oh, okay, so
though?
I just got to... Well, certainly not under the loincloth. Okay, so I got to ask, were you compelled to go back and look under Gandalf?
No, I wasn't. But,
okay.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have any underwear. So as you're putting him together, you can't help but see under the loincloth.
I was just going to say, if they went anatomically correct on him, I'm really kind of worried. Yep.
So he comes with 2 sets of legs. Usually you have interchangeable hands, but he has these legs which are it's all skin over the joints on the elbows and the knees. So but he has a separate set of knees that put him in the crouching position.
Excellent.
A separate set of legs rather.
Yep, that's great.
And I did try those on, which is where I saw under the loincloth. But the ankles aren't strong enough to hold him in that crouching position, which is the way I thought I was going to display him. So I put the regular legs back on. He's got I've got him with the hand that's holding the ring. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Oh,
that is built into that hand. It also comes.
Oh, that makes sense. You'd lose it otherwise.
Well, it also comes with a ring, just by itself. Which
cool.
Cool, but to Dave's point, like I think I almost lost it opening the box. It kind of went flying.
Did you get in your hands and knees and crawl around and say,
I didn't have to, thankfully.
Okay.
It fell into another compartment in the box, so I was able to find it. But yeah, so he's got a couple hands. He's got whatever. He's got a very interesting head mechanism, which I'll be honest with you, I don't really love. I don't know if you can see there's a seam. His whole head comes off. And the back of his head is on the post. And then he's got rolling eyes, which I'm probably not going to use. But when you put the head back together, you can kind of see the seams, which is a little annoying. Like,
yeah,
it's not. And then if you look like on the back of the head, you can see into the head. So,
sure.
I mean, obviously, if he's displayed from the front, he looks fine.
Yeah.
But Dave, to your question, he's not oversized. He's the same size as the Hobbits, which is what he should be.
Is he? I don't remember.
Yeah. So I have him displayed. I have Gandalf and I have Frodo and Bilbo and Gollum, and I feel like my Lord of the Rings collection is pretty complete with that. But
yeah,
I mean, he's a very good looking figure. It was not a hugely expensive figure, which is nice considering it doesn't really have much to it. So it's good. I'm happy with it.
I'm going to ask a question that I'm not trying to be my typical asshole self, but do people like that character? Like, why would you have a figure of that character?
He is
integral to the story.
Integral, very important to the story, and he is both hero and villain at different parts of the story. Like, there are parts where he actually saves people, and there's other, obviously, he's conflicted. He is two different characters. He's Smeagol and Gollum. It's like a split personality.
And he's also kind of like...
I thought those are two different people. I've seen it. I don't like the Lord of the Rings, and I particularly don't like that guy.
Okay,
but
so he's also kind of like a cautionary tale. He is the worst
what
case
happens
scenario
if you want the ring.
Right.
Exactly. When the lust for the ring overcomes you and becomes you. So,
but I also, from a display perspective, having the older Bilbo and the younger Frodo and having him standing in between is a really good
it's great
encapsulation of the story with Gandalf standing behind him.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what I have. Dave, what's in the box?
What about what's her face? The elves. Your buddy. What's the girl's name?
Oh,
Evangeline Lilly. They don't have one of her?
I would have to go pretty deep in order to want to have an Arwen character.
Really?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Tariel? What's?
Oh, you're right. Arwen is.
Yes.
What's her name?
Kate Blanchett.
Right.
No, not Kate Blanchett. That was
it's Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler's character.
I even know this shit. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider a Gimli. I would consider a Strider, and I would consider a who's the main
the guy who's married to Katy Perry?
Yeah. I don't remember
Orlando
his character.
Bloom?
I'm drawing a blank. It's late. I would consider them if they did good versions of them, but Azimuth is kind of hit or miss with some of these figures, and some of them have been really good, and some of them... The one that I should have gotten when it was affordable was Gimli. They did a great job with him, and now...
Is that John Rhys Davies?
Yes, it is.
See, I know all this shit.
That has now become a very expensive figure, so I don't think I'll ever have it.
I was thinking, to totally get in front of Dave, they never made a Sala figure. I don't even remember a knockoff one.
A 12-inch one, you mean?
Yeah, that would be cool.
They never really made anything other than.
But like, wouldn't you think that like if they made a Dr. Jones Senior, Sala would have been a cool figure. Just saying.
I'm waiting for a Brody.
Yeah, that's after Sala. Sorry.
I would love to see them go back and do a Raiders indie. Now that we've finally got the Dial of Destiny, if they could do a Raiders indie in that quality,
nice Raiders indie.
Never got
I would
anything
say,
like a Marion.
Indy, Sala, Marion, and then maybe Tot would be awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, it took forever to get that Dial of Destiny figure out, but I mean, I showed you guys pictures of it last week. It's spectacular. It's really, really well done.
Well, put it this way: at some point, they've got to run out of Stormtrooper variations. So
and Iron Man variations.
And I think they're at the end of the line in both of those. So, yeah.
Dave, what do you got?
All right, I have a simple T-shirt. This is. I pre-ordered this. This is from Tiki Land Trading, a Jeff Granito designed thing. He does a lot of Tiki stuff. It's a takeoff on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, 20,000 Rums Under the Sea, and
nice.
It's got the little Nautilus, and it's got the squid. It's just he does all this stuff. He does so many different designs. I actually have something else coming from him But they'll make glasses, and they'll make shirts, and they'll make all kinds of stuff with these different designs. But I thought it was cool, like the Captain Nemo thing, and it's got sort of the blue 20,000 Rums
cool.
Under the Sea. Yeah, and it's the official shirt of From Dave's Workshop, Bella Canvas.
Oh, there you go. So you know it's comfortable.
You know it's soft and comfortable, so that's good. So that's what's in the box. Okay, next week, we don't know yet. We may have an interesting live episode if we could figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Against Todd's better judgment.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the equipment with me.
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
Yeah.
So fair to say that at least we can at least tease that we're all getting together for a weekend, and it's going to be fun.
We are.
With the wives, so that should be...
We very well may never do the show again after this weekend.
Well, we'll
Because
see.
the three of us get together fine. If the six of us in one place for more than 8 hours, we
That
don't
is
know.
at first, yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
We'll see. Well, we'll report on that, or we'll have someone else report on it.
Yeah, you'll see it on the news if it goes really badly.
yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Well, we'll see. Have a good Labor Day, everyone, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.